Hi, you guys. It's been a minute. We have embarked on yet another season of the Tons Marriage Market. Yes, another season of soirees, promenading, and court. Who will be the season's diamond? Will the vow count finally settle down? Will Lady Whistledown keep her cover? Well, let's find out. Okay, Bridgerton Season 2, Episode 1, Capital R Rake. Lady Danbury and Queen Charlotte is discussing who may be this year's diamond. But all Queen Charlotte can focus on is Lady Whistledown, who is a thorn in her side for challenging her foresight. Queen Charlotte is wondering if Lady Whistledown will return this season since the provocateur hasn't written anything since last season. Perhaps she realizes it wasn't a good idea to challenge her queen, or maybe she was just bored by the lack of gossip. Today is presentation day, and over at the Bridgertons, Eloise is going to make her debut this season. The ABC gang is crowded at her door waiting for her to come on out and make haste. Finally, Eloise come out looking beautifully awkward. Eloise says to the gang, if one of you utters a single word, everybody is like, okay, girl. Eloise is over it and it hasn't even started yet. On the ride over, Daphne tries to give Eloise some tips on how to make it through this presentation. And she added that a small smile is best to appear open and approachable, but not too eager. So Daphne said, now let me see it. Eloise was like, no. Mind you, Eloise's anxiety is through the roof. Lady Bridgerton, perfect Patty, she tries to encourage Daphne to continue. Lady Bridgerton said, tell her how you keep your balance during curtsy. Daphne explains to Eloise what she did, and Daphne, she tries to be supportive, and she said, you have a natural gift. Eloise was done. She said, don't patronize me. Not only will Eloise make her debut, but Anthony is sticking to his word on founding a vow contest this season. And he said that if Hastings did it, how hard could it be? All he needs is what's on this list here. The list includes tolerable, dutiful, suitable enough hips for childbearing, and at least half a brain, which that is not a requirement, but a preference. He got some nerve, the arrogancy. Let's see how this shit work out for him. Over at the Featheringtons, Penelope is sitting in her favorite seating area by the window, and she's reading a book while at the same time anxiously peering out the window. Prudence is hoping for a second chance from the queen to be presented again, being as though that they were in mourning last season over their father's death. Philippa sees no need because she's already betrothed to Mr. Flinch. Prudence mentioned that, well, technically, he hasn't married you yet. And Miss Varley co-signs, mentioning that Mr. Flinch will not when he noticed that there is still no dowry. Lady Featherington said all will be well when the new Lord Featherton comes. Remember, in this society, a male must take on the responsibilities of the estate. And Penelope, she keeps darting at that window, aggravating the hell out of Lady Featherton. She's worried about Penelope keep being exposed to the sun is going to expose her freckles. I guess freckles are frowned upon in this high society. What Penelope was waiting on was the paperboy to come with Lady Whistledown paper. And when Penelope sees them, she's happy. She's like, he's here. Just as last season, all the married-minded ladies and their mamas are preparing to present themselves to the queen, hoping to be this season's diamond, while Eloise is praying for a rapture to come take her up out of there. Introducing vow contest Bridgerton and Miss Eloise Bridgerton. Eloise is awkward and a ball of nerves. The ABC clan is over there. Daphne is trying to give her tips from the sideline. It's horrible. Saved by the Bell. The queen is like, what is this? It's Lady Whistledown newspaper, which steals the queen's attention, freeing Eloise of having to take that walk down the aisle. Everyone is excited to hear what Lady Whistledown has to say. Dearest gentle reader, did you miss me? I was sharpening my knives for all of you. Questions about this author identity and means seeking such answers proves fruitless indeed. However, there is another unknown identity. This one you'll be able to unearth. This season's diamond, wherever she may be. Your move, Your Majesty. Lady Whistledown said, checkmate. We see how Penelope goes undercover as Lady Whistledown and maneuvers. We see she went down to the printer shop posing as Lady Whistledown maid lady, and she bargains a price. Originally, they agreed on Lady Whistledown will pay 20 cents per copy. But after Lady Whistledown thought about it, she had a change of heart. She tells Mr. Harris, you are not special. It's 10 of you and only one Lady Whistledown. She can take her business anywhere. So she will pay 18 cents, not a penny more. Also, she bargained a wage increase for the paper boys of 1 cent. Penelope also likes to see how people indulge themselves in her work. It's almost like if you cooked a good meal and you like to see your family just enjoy it. Those type of pleasures. There's nothing wrong with that, Penelope. The Viscount, he's been holding down his responsibilities, making sure everything is being done with the estate and the accounts and everything. He tells Lady Bridgerton that he's going to need his father's betrothal ring. Lady Bridgerton is like, excuse me, what? Anthony said, yes, I just want to be prepared for when the time is right. He's been going on interviews with different ladies and he just want to be prepared. Lady Bridgerton, she doesn't know how to take Anthony serious, being as though last season he was just raking about. For this season, for him to turn over a new leaf, it's just catching her by surprise. She tells him, look, you'll get the ring when the time is ready. She goes over to Colin and tells him, look, make sure he's well. And Anthony hears this. He said, look, you don't have anything to worry about. I am well. And we see Anthony, he's courting different ladies, married-minded ladies, and they're in hopes becoming Viscountess. But here he goes, him in this list. He's going from lady to lady, asking them different questions that's on his list. And all of the ladies are different and want different things, but none is perfect for the Viscount. So the stress of dealing with these women who isn't worthy and his hard work dealing with the estate, it causes him to go down with the peasants and rake about with the women who themselves aren't worthy of Anthony. In his mind, Anthony is out riding his horse when a lady comes by galloping on her horse. Anthony, he chased behind her, and he's impressed as she remains riding her horse as her horse jumps over a row of bushes. When Anthony catches up to her, he asks her, where's your maid? Oh, you're married? Oh, forgive me, you're lost. The lady said, nope, none of those things, and she's not lost. She's like, I'm good, just leave me be. Go on about your business. They get into this debate, whether this was a race or not. And the lady tells Anthony that he's a sore loser. Anthony said, excuse me? On the rare occasion, I can admit when I'm wrong. Can you say the same for yourself? Because Mayfair isn't straight ahead. It's the other way entirely. Did you say that you weren't lost? Anthony must have pulled her card because when she realized this, she turned around and takes off. So Anthony is yelling out to her, we haven't introduced ourselves. And she tells him it's not possible. I have a victory lap to enjoy. Lady Danbury sponsored a married-minded lady this season, Miss Edwina Sharma, accompanied by her mother, Miss Mary Sharma, and her sister, the lady who was on the horse, Miss Kate Sharma. Oh, and the dog, Newton. Lady Danbury explains that she didn't recommend that the ladies attend the presentation to the Queen because she wanted to make sure the ladies was up to par in order to woo the Queen. She made arrangements for the ladies to take dance, music, and French lessons. Also, Lady Danbury is concerned about the oldest sister. She's saying that she's an old maid at the age of 6 and 26. Well, Kate quickly assured Lady Danbury that she isn't in search for a husband. She is only there to make sure that her sister picks the right suitor. Miss Kate also lets it be known that Miss Edwina Sharman already speaks French, in addition to Greek, Latin, Marathi, and Hindustani. She plays the sitar and maruli, also skilled in piano forte. She adds that she's a remarkable dancer, and she can say remarkable considering that she was the one who taught her sister. I mean, Kate is really selling her sister, you know? She apologizes to Lady Danbury if she went through any trouble to secure such lessons. But pretty much the only lessons that she could use is how to prepare that tea that Lady Danbury was serving. And Kate, she was nice about it. But it did shut Lady Danbury the fuck up. That doesn't happen often. Later on, we can see that Edwina and her mother is worried about how the society will react to them returning after Mary left to marry their father, who wasn't a member of high society. Kate and Edwina has different mothers. Kate reminds her that they're in fact sisters and that this place won't change that. She tells her sister, rest assured, Lady Danbury has their back. Kate gives her sister some tips on what to search for tonight when looking for a suitor. She tells Edwina it's not about the man's appearance or titles that will woo you. It should be his mind and spirit that will court yours. He will speak to your heart, and that will be what you should look for, the love you deserve. Penelope and Eloise are doing some shopping. Eloise is just rambling about Daphne's dreadful recommendations for a successful season. She said the top 10 ways on how to entrap the man. Eloise is over this corny shit. Eloise noticed Penelope buying a quill, and she's like, girl, you running through those. And Penelope curves her, telling Eloise that she's been writing Colin a lot. Old time, Lady Whistledown been running through those quills. When Penelope brings up Lady Whistledown, or I think it was Eloise, anyhow, we find out that Eloise isn't so fond of her this season. She said that Lady Whistledown seemed to just repeat what she hears. And to be honest, she didn't really mind Lady Whistledown's silence the last 10 months. While Lady Whistledown was on her off season, Eloise said she took that time and read some articles of substance. Some articles by Wollstonecraft, advocate of women's rights back then. Eloise says she craves articles as such nowadays. And Lady Whistledown only writes about such nonsense. And she said maybe it's because she isn't an active participant. Little do she know. At the Featherington estate, their help is leaving left or right because of no funds. Miss Varley, she's loyal and she's been the cook, housekeeper, ladies' maid, all of the things. This marriage market season has already started and they don't even have no new dresses. Bridgerton mentioned that pretty soon that they will have to empty their own dirty pots, after they use the bathroom. And Philippa said, Mama, I can't do that. I can't do that. Lady Feverton is telling everyone to calm down. The new Lord Feverton should be there any day now. Now, in Lady Feverton's mind, the new Lord Feverton is a cruel man, and he's going to come down there and turn everything upside down. Penelope asks her mother, if it's not enough money to buy dresses, how will Philippa dowry be paid? Lady Feverton assures them that he is a gentleman and he will pay. So Lady Feverton would like for all of them to be betrothed before the new Lord Feverton does get there. And that way they won't be at his mercy. Miss Varley know that ain't going to happen. So she makes a suggestion. How about you sell your silverware? Okay, it's the first ball of the season at Lady Danbury's. Queen Charlotte is there and she shades Miss Mary Sharman. Now, Kate, she recognized Anthony, and Lady Danbury is like, I don't recall introducing you. Kate said, well, you know what? I must be mistaken. And Lady Danbury, she goes in about the Viscount Bridgerton, saying that he's wealthy, well-connected, is from one of the most luxurious families of the tongue, making him one of the most eligible bachelors. Edwina added that he's very handsome, and Edwina is captivated by him. I wouldn't say that, but she's definitely attracted to him, which Anthony is attractive. Lord Corning come over and he introduces himself to the ladies and asks Edwina for a dance. She takes him up on his offer, and Kate says to Lady Danbury that I don't recall reading up on Lord Corning. Lady Danbury tells her it doesn't matter. It's improper for Edwina to refuse a dance. Learn some things, girl. We see that Kate herself, she's trying to be Miss Perfect, and that's not going to work, child. Okay, the scene at the ball. Just as last season, the Gossip Mamas are huddled up in a group together, and they're clocking their charmers. As I mentioned before, Mary Sharma, at the time, way back when, she was the seasoned incomparable until she took off with her love, who wasn't a member of high society. He was just a common worker who already had a child, Kate. Lady Mary's parents, the Sheffields, never got over the shame. A scandal. Philippa, she spots Mr. Finch. They are so in love with each other. But his parents is going to need that dowry. They asked Lady Featherton about it because the engagement been long. I mean, ever since last season. Lady Featherton, she pulls out her sympathy card. She says dealing with the death of her husband has been so much on her. And this makes the Fitch feels guilty about even bringing it up. So she doesn't even have to discuss the payola right now. She used sympathy and payola. Bridgerton arrives and Eloise says she feels like the prize calf. She got to stop and she looks beautiful. Eloise always looks beautiful, but she just be so awkward at balls. This dweeb, I call him. He approaches Eloise for a dance. It looked like he was about to. And Benedict, knowing his sister, he takes her arm and sweeps her away for some cake. Eloise would have embarrassed the hell out of that poor boy. And Lady Bridgerton, she makes a loud announcement that Anthony is now in search of a wife this season. Penelope is over in the corners and by walls, just being a wallflower, working undercover as Lady Whistledown, eavesdropping. Eloise come over trying to avoid her mother, and she brings all the boys over with her. They are chasing behind her. They want to be added to her dance card. Eloise says, sorry guys, it's full. She done filled the names in herself. Clever, right? Not so much because she can't avoid Lady Bridgerton, who runs down on Eloise and scoops her away. And she's trying to introduce her to different prospects, leaving Penelope there to continue her work. But not for long, because when Penelope tries to creep out, she got all her notes and she's going to creep out to her driver. Eloise scoops her up again, interrupting Penelope from Lady Whistledown's work. Now, Kate the whole time is peeping at Anthony all night. Anthony, he makes his way outside to get some air, and Kate tails behind him. Anthony is over there with the guys, being his obnoxious self, talking out the ass. He tells them he's not looking for a love, but if his children is going to be of good stock, then their mother must be of impeccable quality. He's going on about, so far, every lady there have been falling short. Someone suggested for him to just wait for the queen to pick the seasoned diamond, and that will be his girl. That'll save him the trouble of having to pick. So it was all that shit. So Kate is over there eavesdropping from the bushes, and she's taken back. It's like your dream God is, being something that you didn't even think that he would be. And my thing is with that, Kate, you're eavesdropping and you're in some business that don't even concern you. And this is my thing with people, like, everybody vent and they have their table talk or whatever, but that does not signify all the time the true person they is. Yes, when a person shows you who they are, believe them, but this could be all just talk. You know what I mean? Anyway, Kay hears this and she's just through now. Turn the fuck off. And she tries to creep out of the bushes, and Anthony hears her. He pulls her up and was like, you was eavesdropping. Kay said you was loud enough, proclaiming your many requirements for your wife. So, of course, she has an issue. She heard all of this stuff. She said that she has an issue with any man who views women as just chattel and breeding stock. He asks Anthony, what makes you think when you find this woman, she will accept you? What you think, that your smile is just going to do it? Is that all it takes for the women around here? And Anthony says, so you like my smile? Kate goes on to say, you think too highly of yourself. Your character is deficient. Good night. Kate storms inside. She grabs her sister and tells Lady Danbury that they are leaving. They had enough of the lion's den. Lady Danbury tries to calm Kate down, and Kate tells her, look, I can't do this tonight, and Edwina's absence will make her more desirable. Good night, and get the fuck up out of there. Because Eloise interrupt Penelope from leaving out the ball to go make it to the printer so her stuff can be printed on time, she now has to creep back out the house and go down to the printer. Look like she gets down there just before the sun gets up. Tells the printer that she wants her article out before noon. She knows she's late and that it's a tight margin to fill, but she bargains a sweet deal with the printer for pulling strings at the last minute and lets him know that these delays may be more frequent, that Lady Whistledown is willing to pay for the inconvenience. And Lady Whistledown gets her noon paper, okay? Lady Whistledown writes, there's nothing like the sweet smell of success. But after looking at the scenes from last night's festivities, it's clear that this season won't be so sweet for everyone. The Viscount Mama declared her son's intentions to marry. Yet, I can't be the only one wondering if this former capital R Rake is indeed ready. Perhaps the Viscount is waiting for the Queen to finally name her diamond, or perhaps this offer should take matters into her own hands. Though many flowers are on display this year, this offer wonders if a more surprising choice may be in store. Whichever darling miss receives such high esteem, let's hope that there's only the sharpest wit suitors available. Lest his dry musing leave a lady wilting like a parched rose. Shady. Eloise is parched indeed. The dweeb from last night is one of her prospects, and he came over to do an interview. But Eloise is sitting on the other side of the chair, not paying him no mind. He was actually more amused by Hyacinth and Gregory's marble game. Madame Delacroix came over with some new designs to get ready for Eloise's upcoming events that she's going to go to. And Eloise could care less. Lady Bridgerton, she's like, look, Eloise, you may enjoy the next ball if you actually dance with someone. And she tells her meeting new people can be thrilling. Eloise turned her attention to Anthony, who she says was dancing with nimble-footed ladies all night. The ladies was wearing Anthony toes out. Benedict comes through and he runs right into Madame Delacroix. And he's like, hey, what's up? It's been a minute. He trying to see what's up with her tonight. She turns him down, saying that she has to work and her art comes before anything else. And she gets up out of there. When Anthony asks Benedict what's going on between them two, Benedict, he's like, have you found yourself a wife yet? Or are you planning on to offend every woman until there's none left? On that note, Anthony tries to make it up out of there. And Lady Bridgerton, she chases him down. And she asks him about the ladies that was at the soiree last night. Anthony writes them all off as dumb, eager chits and wishes to never lay eyes on them again. Anthony says he's looking for perfection. That's it and that's all. Lady Bridgerton warns him that such expectations will leave him alone. Penelope was minding her business, counting her snatch, when a bored, miserable Prudence come in prying in Penelope's business. And she up there talking about she's going to be putrefied if Philippa marries Finch. See what I mean? Just miserable. And Penelope said the word is petrified. Prudence goes inside Penelope's box full of writings and started to pick up some of the papers and started to tease Penelope. In the midst of all this, Lady Featherton, she comes into Penelope's room, and Prudence tells her that Penelope has been writing column. Lady Featherton wants Penelope to stop wasting her time on silly letters to Colin. Also, she believes that Colin is not Penelope's friend. Lady Featherton is in search of some funds, and she's asking Penelope if any of her books is worth anything. Penelope is like, I don't think you gonna get no money off that. And earlier we seen Miss Lady Featherton telling Miss Varley to see how much she can get for those candlesticks. Come on, new Lord Featherton, and save this woman before she sells everything in this damn house. Lady Danbury receives a letter from the Sheffields. She approaches Miss Kate, accusing her of not being straightforward with her. Kate apologizes, thinking that it was about taking her morning rides without a chaperone. And Lady Danbury, she can care less about that. She wants to know the real reason that Kate came along with her sister. Lady Danbury feels played. She has opened up her home to them. She gave them her sponsorship, and she vouched for Edwina in front of the queen. And she's offended that she's being used as a pawn in a scheme with stipulations set up by the Sheffields regarding Edwina's match. And if they do meet the stipulations, it will set the ladies up for a great fortune. Kate tells Lady Danbury that the stipulation is that if Edwina must marry an Englishman of nobility. The Sheffields never recovered from the shame of their daughter marrying someone with the lack of titles and ranks. Kate assures Lady Danbury that she is not here for her selfish reasons. They did their very best to raise Edwina when the father died. Money ran low, and they used their very last bit for the journey. And the Sheffields agreed to give a dowry to Edwina and to look after their mom only if Edwina marries properly. And Kate goes on and on about all the things that she prepared Edwina and taught Edwina to be a part of the society. Lady Danbury tells Kate, look, Edwina has a right to know about these circumstances. She tells her it's her future. Let her pick. Kate tells her that's exactly why I don't want her to know, because if she knew of the circumstances, she would marry quickly just to please them, and she wouldn't take the time and choose the love that she deserves. Lady Whistledown writes, might our queen finally bestow the highest honor of the most fortunate young lady tonight? With so many futures at risk, I suspect this offer will not be the only one waiting. It's Queen Charlotte's ball, and the Charmers have arrived with Lady Danbury, and the queen is being more welcoming this time. When the Charmer ladies walks away, Lady Danbury mentions to Queen Charlotte that Miss Edwina could make a good match and will be the envy of the tongue. Queen says, why does it feel like you're pulling my strings? Lady Danbury tells her, you said you wanted to shake up the season. Here's your chance. The Bridgertons make it to the ball, and they go up to the queen, and Lady Bridgerton wants Eloise to charm her since the presentation was interrupted. Queen Charlotte says to Eloise, since last season Daphne had a good year, I hope that the good fortune runs in the family. And Cressida and her crew, they just laugh like, yeah, right. Eloise is basically pushed to say something. And Eloise says, this is a very delightful ball. It's very diamondly. Although I must admit, I'm more of an emerald person myself. And Queen Charlotte found this charming, and she is just cracking up. She told Eloise that she came a long way since last season. Eloise was not at all trying to charm her. Eloise definitely don't want to be this season's diamond. And now Cressida wants Eloise to join her circle of friends. Eloise said, I'd rather die. Eloise scoops up Penelope, and they get up out of there off to the side just so they can have some private time. And Eloise goes on and on about the balls and all this fuss. And she tells Penelope, I don't see how you do it. Penelope explains to Eloise, well, I don't share your same difficulties. I'm a wallflower, and that's not a bad thing. I get the first glass of lemonade. I know the best dances just from watching. And I can tell when a suitor is serious about a courtship just by the way he looks at the lady when she dances with another suitor. And I can even hear what the footmen's secrets are. Eloise said, you've been keeping it from me the whole time. You don't have to front for me anymore. You like all this, don't you? Oh, whoa, that was close. Penelope thought that Lady Whistledown cover was blown. Penelope asks Eloise, does Lady Whistledown bring her amusement anymore? And Eloise said when she was going there, she thought that she would needed Lady Whistledown paper to make sense of this world. But now that she's back and reporting on the same old thing, it's just another reminder of how trapped she is. Eloise is tired of people comparing her to Daphne. And Lady Bridgerton, she was so happy last season, and Eloise feels as though she could never live up to that. Even though Eloise doesn't want to live like that, even though Eloise doesn't want to live like that, and she accepts that she's not that girl, it feels like when she walks into a room that she's a constant disappointment in her family. Penelope says to Eloise, no one notices me, and I like that. Being invisible, you have all the amusement that you want without the expectation that popularity brings. Eloise asks Penelope, do you think that's why Whistledown stays anonymous? Yes, Eloise, yes. Okay, back inside at the ball. Hear ye, hear ye. I have an announcement to make. This season diamond is Miss Edwina Sharma. Queen Shirley has crowned her season diamond. Now all the guys are swarming to Miss Edwina. And Miss Edwina is a beautiful girl. So she didn't even need Lady Danbury help. She is very charming. The Viscount, he's right there. He's waiting for his dance with Edwina. Over to the side, Kate thanks Lady Danbury for throwing Edwina's name to the queen. Lady Danbury tells her, look, the real work starts right now. And Kate is excited until she finds out that her sister is dancing with the Viscount, Anthony. Why is she that mad? Because she want the Viscount for herself. Ain't nobody gonna tell me no different. You been looking at this man all night. Edwina, she's over there enjoying herself with Anthony on the dance floor. And Anthony seems surprised that this season diamond is a challenge to him. She answers all of his questions, leaving a margin for insight and perspective. It's not just yes, no, whatever you want, my lord. And I'm sure that attracts her to him. Anthony is ready to meet her papa, but Kate tells her, you'll have to charm my sister. Well, sister girl Kate comes over and she grabs up Edwina. And she tells Edwina that she isn't to go near him ever again. Meanwhile, Anthony tells Lady Bridgerton that Edwina is the one he wants to marry. What a mess. Okay, the ball is over and the Featherton ladies, they make it back over to their home. And the new Lord Featherton finally arrives. He is nothing that they expected. Actually, he is the son of the father. The father died, leaving this Lord Featherton to be the one next up. Well, he done brought all his things, and he said he paid for Philip a dowry and that he took it upon himself to make himself at home. I mean, this is his home, right? And the ladies, they feel kind of at ease. Penelope said, like you said, Mama, the Lord Featherton is here to provide. And he seems refreshing and about his business. So we'll see where that goes. Lady Whistledown writes, color, clarity, cut, and carat. At last, the queen names her most precious stone. While I find Miss Edwina to be an exceptional young lady, it's about time that I use these papers for some good use. A shift. Is naming a diamond ridiculous? Should we not value a woman for her candor, character, and true accomplishments? Perhaps if the queen abandoned this naming, we would see so much more. And that's where the episode ends. I mean, for this episode, Kate and Anthony is dead on. They have attraction for one another. So I'm just interested to see where this shit goes. But y'all, I gotta catch up. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.